This conference will now be recorded.
It's the classification of chronic pancreatitis. Chronic ulcerative pancreatitis, chronic obstructive pancreatitis, chronic inflammatory pancreatitis, chronic autoimmune pancreatitis, asymptomatic pancreatic fibrosis. In chronic pancreatitis, the parenchyma is completely replaced by fibrous tissue. The etiology: chronic calcific pancreatitis, alcohol, hereditary, tropical pancreatitis, hyperlipidemia, hypercalcemia, drug-induced, idiopathic. Chronic obstructive pancreatitis, pancreatic tumors, obstruction due to any stone formation, ductal obstruction, extraluminal obstruction, CBD stone obstruction, worm infestation, ascariasis, Chronarchis opistapis. These are all present in the wild earth. Which may form stone and then obstruct the ampullary region and migrate to pancreatic duct also. Ductal strictures, any therapeutic or iatrogenic trauma or due to infection. Chronic inflammatory pancreatitis, etiology is unknown. Autoimmune pancreatitis associated with autoimmune disorders, primary sclerosing cholangitis, Sjogren syndrome, primary biliary cirrhosis, asymptomatic pancreatic fibrosis, chronic alcoholic, endemic in asymptomatic resident in tropical climates. Fibrosis, perilobular fibrosis that forms surrounding individual acini, then propagate to the surround small lobules and eventually coalesce to replace larger areas of acinar tissue. Acini which secrete the extrapancreatic secretions, pancreatic enzymes. Initially, fibrosis starts at peri-acinar region, perilobular region, and each single lobule fibrosed and then coalesced to form the large fibrotic area. Activation of primary sclerosing cholangitis that are found adjacent to the acini and small arteries. Proliferation factors such as transforming growth factor, beta, platelet-derived growth factor, pro-inflammatory cytokines, and synthesized and secrete type 1 and 3 collagen. Any fibrosis initially forms the type 3 collagen and then replaced by type 1 collagen. Fibronectin, stone formation, saponification of the fat, calcium carbonate crystals trapped in the matrix of fibrillar and other material Initial non-calcified protein precipitate serves as a focus for layered calcium carbonate precipitation. Non-calcified protein which acts as the nidus for stone formation. ASP, lithostatin, and regenerated protein. Increased pancreatic juice protein levels in alcoholic men are reversible by abstinence from the alcohol. Initial stages we can prevent by the abstinence of alcohol, because alcoholism there is alteration in the metabolism, excessive protein production, protein lysis. So these are all acts as the initial steps for the stone formation. Whenever there is abstinence of alcohol is there, the reversal of the destruction process, the metabolism will regain to normal level, so that can prevent stone formation. Calcific stone formation represents an advanced stage of disease which can further promote injury or symptoms due to mechanical damage to duct epithelium or obstruction of the ductal network. Duct distortion, calicculus disease, and duct enlargement appear together as late stage of chronic pancreatitis. Calcific stone disease is normally a marker for an advanced stage of disease. Parenchymal and ductal calcifications do not always correlate with symptoms. We can't predict the amount of stone formation, duct obstruction by presence of symptoms. Huge duct obstruction is there, but minimal symptoms are may be present. Because it is chronic process, body may accompany with the symptoms. Pain cycle, initial inflammation, and then duct obstruction. Due to duct obstruction, there is pancreatic enzymes stagnants, which increases high pancreatic tissue pressure. Due to chronic stasis, parenchymal destruction, duct distortion, sometimes fibrotic encasement of sensory nerves, neuropathy. Due to fibrotic encasement of sensory nerves, there is loss of pain in chronic stage. So we can't predict the state of disease by presence of symptoms. Type A pain, there is short relapsing episodes lasting days to weeks, separated by pain-free intervals. In between, there is pain-free intervals are there. Type B pain, which is prolonged, severe, unrelenting pain, continuous pain, even with painkillers. pain will not be subsided. Recent studies suggest that IP pain, which is prolonged severe unrelenting pain, is associated with worse quality of life. Due to continuous pain, there is quality of life will be affected. Greater health care is needed. Pain exacerbations are not always associated with elevation of serum amylase and lipase levels. In chronic pancreatitis, the levels of serum amylase and lipase may be normal. Due to loss of pancreatic enzymes, there is protein digestion, lipids digestion will be affected, neutralization of the chyme also be affected, so that malabsorption when pancreatic exocrine capacity falls below 10% of normal, diarrhea and steatorrhea will develop. Steatorrhea is loss of fat in the stools. Large, foul-smelling, white-colored stools. As exocrine deficiency increases, symptoms of steatorrhea are often accompanied by weight loss. Due to loss of fat, malabsorption, there is weight loss is there. Lipase deficiency tends to manifest excelled by trypsin deficiency. Secretion of bicarbonate into the duodenum is reduced. Pancreatic secretions are rich of bicarbonate. The amount of pancreatic secretions reduced, bicarbonate entering into the duodenum also reduced, which causes duodenal acidification and further impairs nutrient absorption. Chyme which enters from the stomach is more acidic in nature because stomach pH is 1.5 2 to 4. So that much of acidic chyme which enters into the duodenum causes duodenal epithelial damage and ulceration also. To prevent the pancreatic secretions which contain bicarbonate rich, they alkalize the chyme immediately entering into the duodenum. Whenever there is loss of pancreatic secretions due to ductal obstruction or loss of parenchyma or due to loss of secretion, this parenchyma is replaced by fibrous tissue, so that there is acidic chyme enters into the duodenum. Due to damage to the pancreatic parenchyma, there is also loss of islet cells, that is endocrine pancreatic cells, which leads to the diabetes mellitus due to loss of secretion of insulin. Islets are typically smaller than normal and may be isolated from their surrounding vascular network by the fibrosis. Global deficiency of all three glucoregulatory islet cell hormones, insulin, glucagon, pancreatic polypeptide. Insulin which reduces blood glucose level, glucagon which maintains blood glucose level in the stress period. Polypeptide also maintains the glucose level. There is paradoxical combination of enhanced peripheral sensitivity to insulin and decreased hepatic sensitivity to insulin. Patients are hyperglycemic when there is insulin replacement is insufficient because internal insulin production is already lost. So we can supply by giving external supplementation. Due to unsuppressed hepatic glucose production, because loss of hepatic sensitivity to insulin, very insufficient insulin is given to the patient. Patient is hyperglycemic or sometimes hypoglycemic because the dose is exceed to the baseline level. This is due to enhanced peripheral insulin sensitivity and deficiency of pancreatic glucagon secretion, because glucagon, which is stress related hormone, which maintains the blood glucose levels whenever there is stress induced hypoglycemia. Due to supplement of excessive insulin, there is increased peripheral sensitivity to the insulin, leads to hypoglycemia. When there is hypoglycemia, the feedback mechanism which initiates the secretion of glucagon, which increases the gluconeogenesis and maintains the blood glucose levels. But due to loss of glucagon in the blood, there is counteraction to the insulin, excessive insulin was lost, so that hypoglycemia will develop. Fetal diabetes, there is special attention. There is borderline diabetes. Frank diabetes is seen initially in about 20% of patients with chronic pancreatitis and impaired glucose metabolism can be detected in up to 70% of patients. Initial stages in chronic pancreatitis, only 20% will develop diabetes, but glucose metabolism is altered in up to 70%. In chronic pancreatitis patients, more than half of the diabetic patients will require insulin supplementation. Diabetic ketoacidosis and diabetic nephropathy are relatively uncommon, but retinopathy and neuropathy are seen to occur with similar frequency in idiopathic diabetes. Compared with idiopathic diabetes, there is ketoacidosis and diabetic nephropathy, that is kidney damage, comparatively less with idiopathic diabetes. But neuropathy and retinopathy are almost equal in frequency with idiopathic diabetes. This is comparison between diabetes, idiopathic diabetes, and pancreatic onset. Type 1 insulin dependent, that is juvenile onset. Type 2 non-insulin dependent. Type 3 is apancreatic to chronic pancreatitis or post-pancreatectomy. Ketoacidosis, usually common in juvenile onset, rare in non-insulin dependent diabetes, and apancreatic onset. Hyperglycemia, severe in type 1, usually mild in type 2 and type 3. Hyperglycemia is common in type 1, that is insulin dependent, and apancreatic type 3. Common, rare in type 2. Peripheral insulin sensitivity, we discussed it, that is apancreatic diabetes. There is peripheral insulin sensitivity is increased. Hepatic insulin sensitivity, which is decreased in type 3, normal in type 1, normal or decreased in type 2. Insulin levels usually low in type 1 because insulin dependency, there is secretion deficiency, or pancreatic development is lost. In type 3, due to pancreatectomy or fibrosis of pancreatic parenchyma, the insulin secretion is low. Type 2, insulin levels are high. Glucagon levels low in type 3, normal or high in type 1 and type 2. Pancreatic polypeptide, type 1 high, type 2 high, type 3 low. Typical age of onset, childhood or adolescence in type 1. Type 2 with adults. In type 3, at any age there is any congenital deficiency may be there, operative pancreatectomy may be there, trauma leads to pancreatectomy, pancreatitis, chronic pancreatitis, these are all causes. Investigations, investigations, there is measurement of pancreatic secretions in the blood, this pancreatic enzymes like amylase, lipase, pepsin, pancreatic polypeptides, polypeptide 2. Usually pancreatic polypeptide is low and chronic pancreatitis. Measurement of pancreatic exocrine secretions. The direct measurement is enzymes and bicarbonate. There is a reduction in the bicarbonate levels. Indirect measurement, malabsorption test, bentonite test, Schilling's test, fecal fat, chymotrypsin or elastase concentration, carbon-Volin absorption. These are indicated in malabsorption stage. While giving 14-Volin, amount of carbon comes out is calculated. So whenever there is high of carbon levels, so poor absorption is there. So there is malabsorption. We will identify. Imaging techniques. Plain film radiography of abdomen, ultrasonography, CT, ERCP, MRCP and endoscopic ultrasound. USG, stage low, no invasiveness. This is initial investigation. Useful for screening, almost 100% specificity. Sensitivity is less. CT useful for detection of advanced disease, that is calcifications, ductal obstructions. MRCP or MRI, the best investigations. Sensitivity is high. Non-invasive assesses ducts and parenchyma, but drawback is operator dependent. Secretin enhancement, by giving secretin supplementation, it gives better results and improves sensitivity and specificity. Endoscopic ultrasound, ERCP, hormone stimulated pancreatic function test. These three are invasive tests. Endoscopic ultrasound assesses ducts and parenchyma, but limited availability now. A few centers are doing EUS. ERCP is diagnostic as well as therapeutic also. Pancreatic duct obstruction is there. We will go for sphincterotomy and stent placement. Initial drainage will facilitate it. It's useful to detect early ductal changes. Hormone stimulated pancreatic function test. By advancing endoscopic ultrasound and ERCPs, hormone stimulation investigations are not used routinely. Complications: pseudosis, Pseudocyst is most common complication, chronic pancreatitis. Duodenal or gastric obstruction, thrombosis of splenic vein thrombosis, leads to splenomegaly, portal hypertension, abscess formation, pseudocyst, pseudocyst rupture, leads to peritonitis, erosion into visceral artery, pancreatic branches of splenic artery, splenic artery itself, formation of pseudoaneurysms, inflammatory mass in the head of the pancreas, bile duct stenosis, portal vein thrombosis, duodenal obstruction, duct strictures or stone formation, ductal hypertension and duct dilatation, pancreatic carcinoma, adenocarcinoma, most common complication, extrapancreatic complications, pancreatic duct leak with ascites or fistula formation, the pseudocyst formation, rupture of the pseudocyst. Pseudocyst most of the times communicate with the pancreatic ducts due to increased pancreatic duct hypertension, increased pressure in the duct, dilatation of the duct sometimes may rupture or perforate and form pancreatic ascites and fistula formation. Pseudocyst extends beyond the lesser sac into mediastinum, retroperitoneum, lateral pericolic spaces, mostly on left side, pelvis or adjacent viscera. Say extension causes compression of the concerned vessels, reduced space in the mediastinum, so leads to the base of the lung atelectasis, chest pain, breathing difficulty, SOB. The retroperitoneum compresses the vessels, the treatment for the chronic pancreatitis, medical management, surgical management, there is pain reduction, to give painkillers, pancreatic supplementation, Paracetamol for peripheral analgesic. Methimazole is also peripheral analgesic. Tramadol, low potency central analgesic, but by giving the tramadol there is nausea, vomiting are most of the times common. Sometimes patient may not be unable to tolerate. Tilidine, also low potency central analgesic. Buprenorphine, high potency central analgesic. Morphine, individual dose independency. High potency central analgesic. Levothyroxine, phenothiazine, neuroleptic. Clomipramine, tricyclic antidepressant. These are all enzyme replacements. Non-entry coded compounds. Non-entry coded compounds, their drawback is due to gastric juice, these enzymes are digested within the stomach, so efficiency is less. Entry coated compounds, prion, pancreas, depends upon the patient need, you can prescribe this. These are supplemented before meals. You can also take a dose at a night. Patient experiences pain. Conventional enzymes are treatment of choice for pain relief. If no improvement occurs with conventional enzymes alone, we can add H2 blockers or proton pump inhibitors to decrease the peptic acid inhibition for the enzymes. So to reduce the acids in the stomach, there is availability of the conventional enzymes will increase because digestion of the enzymes will reduce. Entry coded preparations or treatment of choice for steatorrhea, that is loss of fat in stool. Acid suppressive therapy should not be given. Anti-secretory therapy are useful in pancreatic ascites, fistula, pseudocyst, because this reduce the pancreatic secretions. So that the amount of enzymes in the circulation is reduced and outside the patient general condition will improve. The fistulas may spontaneously sometimes heal to reduce the production of the pancreas. The octreotide therapy, patient is put on NBM, L by mouth, so that the stimulation to the pancreas is reduced Compensatory, we can go for parenteral nutrition. For pain management, another method is neurolysis, that is cilia plexus blockade. Endoscopic management, pancreatic duct stenting, for proximal pancreatic duct stenosis, decompression of the pancreatic duct leak because of stasis or obstruction of stricture. There is increased pressure in the pancreatic duct, which leads to the duct eruption, rupture, and leak. Whenever there is go for sphincterotomy and putting the stand, the drainage facility is provided so that the duct leak will reduce. Drainage of pancreatic pseudocyst is drained by cystogastrostomy or cystojejunostomy. Cystoduodenostomy is very rare. Sometimes percutaneous drainage. Endoscopic stone removal. Stones impacted there, we'll go for ESWL, extracorporeal shockwave lithotripsy, which is commonly used for renal stones less than 2 centimeter stones. This will break the stone. And stones will come out and obstruction is relieved. Surgical management, indications for surgery, intractable pain, continuous irritating pain, even with painkillers. Complications related to adjacent organs due to increased size of cyst or any splenic aneurysms, thrombus formation, portal hypertension. Due to increased size of the pseudocyst leads to the compressed surrounding organs, obstruction of the duodenum. Pseudocyst may enter into the mediastinum, causes respiratory distress. Endoscopically, we already tried for cystogastrostomy, but there is no relief. Neither conservatively nor interventionally treatable internal pancreatic fistula. There is inability to exclude pancreatic cancer despite of broad diagnostic workup. This is flow chart. Establish the diagnosis. Abnormal secretin test, abnormal benthromide, decreased serum trypsin levels, pancreatic calcifications. Diagnosis established. Management initially by pancreatic enzyme therapy and then painkillers. Conservative management, that is medical management. Positive response is there, pain is reduced, continue the same treatment. If response is not there, negative response, then go for ERCP. Diagnosis is not established, then go for diagnostic ERCP. హలో ఎక్కడున్నారు భయ్య అక్కడ పూజ అపార్ట్మెంట్స్ పక్కన 2 స్టేట్ బిల్డింగ్ ఉంటుంది అక్కడ ఫస్ట్ ఫ్లోర్లో ఇచ్చారా ఫస్ట్ ఫ్లోర్లో ఇచ్చారు In ERCP, there is any large duct disease or small duct disease, pancreatic enzymes, ductal decompression surgery, octreotide supplementation to reduce the pancreatic secretion, celiac plexus blockade to pain relief, small duct disease, initially pancreatic enzyme supplementation, and reduce the pancreatic secretions by giving octreotide, TPN, celiac plexus blockade, and surgical precision. Sphincteroplasty, then drainage procedures and recession procedures. Sphincteroplasty disease, drainage procedures by dual caudal pancreaticojejunostomy, Eustace and Gillespie longitudinal pancreaticojejunostomy LPJ, there is distal pancreatic from body to tail of the pancreas. Partington and Rochelle longitudinal pancreaticojejunostomy. These are all stones. By opening the pancreatic duct, stones will be removed and then pancreatic duct is anastomosed with the jejunum. Resection procedures, distal pancreatectomy by sparing the spleen, proximal pancreatectomy with pancreaticojejunostomy by hepaticojejunostomy and gastrojejunostomy. Whipple's procedure, Berger's procedure, trace. In trace, difference between trace and Eustace is Eustace only body and tail will involve. In trace procedure, along with the head of the pancreas, additionally there is head of the pancreas will be there. That is, complete pancreaticojejunostomy will be done in trace procedure. Amber's modification, phrase procedure. This is the Uncinate process. This is minor duct. Here major duct will be there. Denervation procedure. Transhiatal splanchnicectomy. There is removal of splanchnic nerves, sympathetic parasympathetic nervous system. In pseudocyst, there is increased pain, vomiting, the mild elevations in MLH levels and lipase levels. Treatment procedures for pseudocyst: drainage for large and symptomatic pseudocyst. It may be endoscopic or surgical. Biliary obstruction, there is obstructive jaundice. Disease may be due to any large pseudocyst by external compression, so that we drain the pseudocyst. There is relief of bile duct. Jaundice will resolve. Go for endoscopic stenting. If endoscopic stenting is not possible, then go for surgery. Gastric outlet obstruction, abdominal pain, early satiety, nausea and vomiting, drainage of pseudocyst, gastrojejunostomy, pancreatic adenocarcinoma, weight loss and increased pain. If it is resectable, then go for surgical resection. If it is not resectable, then go for stenting of CVD and pancreatic duct. Our palliative surgeries include gastrojejunostomy. Pancreatic ascites, increased abdominal girth, high MLH ascites. There is more than 50,000 international users of MLH levels. Endoscopic stent placement and then TPN. Use the rest to the bowel and reduce the pancreatic secretion. Pleural effusion due to pancreatitis or pseudocyst. There is pleural effusion most on left side. Shortness of breath, high MLH levels in pleural fluid. Go for therapeutic thoracocentesis, basically drain, stent placement and TPN. Splenic vein thrombosis, go for splenectomy. Tinnitus of inflammation of chronic pancreatitis is due to any cause is the head of the gland. Treatment approaches that addresses the disease in the head have the best long-term results. Pancreatic surgery includes many pitfalls, but needs surgery. There is a huge technical demanding. For pancreatic surgeries, it should be left to experts in high volume hospitals to minimize mortality and morbidity. This multimodality approach. Thank you. Please put your attendance in chat box. We'll go for start with pancreatic neoplasms and then pancreatic neuroendocrine tumors. This is the end of the topic.